Hey guys, Rod here at A Better Way to Farm, where we increase yields and improve profits. These are interesting times that we're in, and it's been fun to watch the last 30 plus years of things evolve. You know, for many years we've been talking about the need for sulfur, and a lot of people within the industry have said, no, you don't need that, you don't need that, you don't need that. Now all of a sudden they're calling sulfur the fourth macro in PK and S. And it's interesting as we bounce all over the place, and the common sense guy says everything in moderation. The Bible talks about it. It is just, no excesses. Do everything the way it's supposed to be. And I've been reading some articles, even some from some fairly well-respected agronomists, and they're talking about, well, just put sulfur on, just put 20 pounds on every acre. That's the deal. We went from not needing any to now you should just put 20 pounds on every acre. And a lot of the times I have seen some of them talking about using elemental sulfur. If you follow us, you know that's not the product of choice. We're going to want to use some kind of a sulfate in order to make this work right, and because we know that's the form that the plant needs, and we know elemental doesn't break down very fast. So as we start looking at this, why do I not want to see 20 pounds on every acre? Well, I'm sitting in my office. I've been sitting in my office now for about a week. All I'm doing is going through soil tests and talking to growers and figuring out what they need and working on prescriptions for each field and getting done what they need. And it's interesting because I have guys who have so much sulfur that it's actually working against them, that their sulfur tests are showing way high. There's different reasons that would happen, but they're way high and they don't need any more. As a matter of fact, they don't want any more. It's not a healthy situation. I just finished up. We're roughing in some stuff here for a new client, Steve. Steve's a good buddy of mine. He lives up by Chicago, and I appreciate him getting a hold of us and working with us. But, he had a lot of fields that needed 35 or 40 pounds of sulfur. And so what happens when we do that blanket recommendation? Well, if we put 20 pounds on and we're too high, then we hurt ourselves. And if we put 20 pounds on and we needed 35, we don't move the needle. And let's remember that to a large degree, sulfur, when we apply sulfur, it doesn't go right into the plant that we need it to. Sulfur is something that hits the soil, and then a lot of chemical things happen to it. A lot of reactions are going to happen to it. And corn eats at the second table. We apply sulfur. The first thing that happens is the chemistry of the soil grabs a hold of it. For instance, if we have a lot of magnesium, that's probably prone to grabbing some of that sulfur and tying it up. We got to get that carbon nitrogen sulfur ratio correct before it will release and go into the plant. So what are we saying? It's real simple. Do everything according to a soil test. 20 pounds is not the cure-all all the way across America. What are we going to be looking at? We're going to be looking at a soil test. And when we look at the soil test, then what we can do is we can determine what is the right amount of sulfur. And we do know the right form is always a sulfate, potassium sulfate, ammonium thiosulfate, potassium thiosulfate, or just dry AMS that you broadcast. Guys, we got some ways to do this. Let's do it right. Let's do it judiciously. Hey, by the way, if you're interested, we're already planning for our next season of the Fundamental of Agronomy classes, and the first one's going to be in Central Iowa in the month of July. If you'd be interested in attending that, go ahead and reach out. We'd love to have you there. I hope you're having a better day.